Hey guys, what's up? It's Fern. Thank you so much for joining me for another Planty video. Today, first of all, I'm in a really good mood. I have my juice here. The sun is coming out and I have some amazing plants to share with you. So for today's video, we are going to be going over my January favorites. So I have a handful of plants that I have just been especially loving this month and I cannot wait to show them to you. So let's just hop right into it. Woo! It's a zingy one this morning. So the first one that I have to share with you is my Monstera obliqua, which, oh my goodness, you guys. First of all, just look at how big the leaves are getting on this plant. And we have a new one coming in. Look at that. I cannot wait to see it unfurl. I love this plant so much more than I thought I was going to. Like, I never fully got the hype, but this thing is incredible. It is so beautiful and so easy to grow. Like, this thing has it's just been taking off since I got it. I've said this before, so I'll try not to repeat myself a whole bunch, but seriously, this has just grown like a dream for me, and it's so exciting whenever a new leaf comes out. It's given me like 4 or 5 new leaves since I got it in the fall, and I just was not expecting this to be an easy plant. I was not expecting for it to... I was a little bit stressed, thinking that it wasn't going to grow well for me, it was going to be really finicky, but it's been the complete opposite. It's just been such a joyful surprise. So yeah, I'll give you another close-up of this is the biggest leaf that it currently has, and I just think that it is so cool, like how dainty it is, how big the fenestrations are. I know that people say like, oh, you can just get Monstera adansonii, like it's the same thing, but if you see these in person, then I think you would definitely agree with me that it is a lot different from Monstera adansonii, and it's really magical. I'm such a big fan of it. Remember when I first got it in the mail, it just had these leaves with no fenestrations and I wasn't even sure what it was. Yeah, I cannot believe how far we've come. I haven't repotted it yet because, well, I took it out, I was gonna repot it, and it was not root bound at all, so I stuck it back into this pot. So probably maybe this summer I'll end up repotting it, but as for now, this is still the same pot, the same potting mix and everything as it was sent to me from Botanicas, and it's just been thriving, doing amazing. Lives in my Millsbo tall greenhouse cabinet, and I have had absolutely no problems with it. I've been using the thrip spray to treat it to make sure that it doesn't get sick with thrips, and there's been absolutely no damage. I have not even lost a leaf on this. It still has the very smallest leaf that it came with. It's just incredible. If you have the chance to get your hands on one of these for a reasonable price or trade or something, I definitely would. I know that they're becoming a little bit more accessible, which is really awesome. But yeah, I just think that it's fantastic, and I'm really grateful that it's in my collection. Okay, you guys, next we have a plant that I've been struggling with since September-ish, and it's finally starting to do better. This is my Philodendron gigas. First of all, I'm obsessed with gigas. I love seeing photos of other people's Philodendron gigas. I love these like super dark velvety leaves, and I love the more oval shape and just how they kind of like flop over. I know a lot of people don't like that look, but I just really love the way that these lay, the way that they climb on a moss pole, and just everything about them I just think is so cool. So yeah, like I said, mine has been struggling. This is the biggest leaf, the original leaf that I came with, and then I have a couple we have that one, and then it gave me this one, and I was super disappointed. But you guys, we have a new leaf that's unfurling, and it looks pretty good. Like, there's a tiny bit of damage, but overall this leaf is looking really nice. Definitely doesn't look like completely speckled or completely torn apart like the other leaves have been coming in. Yes, there is some damage, but it's not as severe, and I think that the leaf is gonna turn out looking like somewhat normal. So I can't wait to see it unfurl. That's what it's looking like so far. It's just exciting whenever this thing grows, and I do hear that they are very fast growers, which is good. I can already see like the little growthy spike thing on top where a new leaf is going to come out from. I do need to get this thing on a moss pole ASAP. I was kind of undecided of whether I was going to chop this thing up or whether I was just going to go ahead and repot it with a moss pole. I'm still kind of undecided, so I'm still thinking about that. but I'm just so happy that this is still with us today, you guys. This is one that I kind of have the same feelings. It's in like the same category as my verrucosum, my El Choco Red, my Splendid, the ones that I just really want to grow out to be large plants, large climbing plants. So yeah, happy to see the small progress that is happening with this one. It is a little bit thirstier, so I do find that I'm watering this quite a bit, especially because I have this in a really bark heavy mix. The more bark that you have in your mix, the more you're gonna have to water because it's just gonna drain right through. But yeah, doing really well, so I'm stoked about that. I have a lot of philodendron today, you guys. Next is my philodendron tortum. Look at him. Oh my goodness. I love him so much. I grew this, is this the one that I grew from a wet stick? Yes, I grew this plant from a wet stick, and this is what it looks like today. It just gave me this new leaf, which is why it's in my favorites, because I've just been excitedly watching this unfurl. I did break the top off. You can see there should have been more leaves up at the top, but I unfortunately broke it off because it was stuck, and of course, you know me, I had to go in and try to free it, but I did free it, and I'm happy that I did that because I'm willing to sacrifice those top couple of leaves to have the whole leaf survive. So yeah, this plant is just, it's growing like mad. It's getting to the point where it's turning into a more full little plant, and I'm just so excited about this one just because it is so unique, so different from the other plants that I have in my collection, which are typically like the larger velvety kind of big leafed philodendron. This one is just so unique. I think that that's why I like my Monstera subpinnata so much too, because it's just a leaf shape that's really different, out of the ordinary, and yeah, I'm loving it so much. It's a lot like sturdier than I was expecting. Also a pretty hardy plant. I would say like I let this dry out a lot and it doesn't even really like droop or anything. It survived the thripocalypse that has been happening in my house, and it doesn't really complain. It just looks so cute. It's kind of hard to show on screen unless I'm like have something behind it because it's just so thin. But yeah, definitely one of my favorites, and this is one that it's just gonna be so cool to see it get big. Like, can you imagine when this has like big, large, mature leaves? It's just gonna be incredible. So very excited to watch that grow. I feel like I say that about all my plants, but I can't help myself. I'm so excited to watch them all grow. Okay, so let's do my Syngonium erythrophyllum next. So this is a plant that I honestly didn't even know if this thing was going to make it. I completely chopped it up and I had a lot of trouble propagating. And then I eventually did get some roots and potted a couple of cuttings. They had like the tiniest roots ever, so I was like, I'm just gonna take the risk. But I potted them up and it started growing. And then I eventually had some other cuttings that I potted back in here. So I have like 2 or 3 cuttings in this pot, and it's just been doing really well. It kind of caught my eye in the past week, and I was just like, wow, like this plant is looking amazing. Like, look at these beautiful dark leaves. Like, are you kidding me? These are so dark. I know a lot of plants are called black, like this has a common name of Syngonium black, or there's like ZZ Raven, and there's a whole group of plants that are known for having like almost black leaves, but these are very, very dark, and they're not even really like dark green toned. They're almost more of a purple, which probably comes from the purpley red backs. But yeah, this is just so gorgeous, like honestly even prettier than I was expecting it to be. I'm going to have to say that this would probably be one of my favorite Syngoniums. Like, I think I prefer this more than I prefer the varieties of variegated Syngonium, like way more than my Syngonium albo. I just love the dark foliage, so this really does it for me. I see there's a new leaf that's just unfurling right there, which is so cute. This just makes me really happy because it's just kind of starting to get established, and I know that it has so much potential. So just to see it doing well from just being potted up not long ago is just, it makes me so happy. Okay, you guys, next, another one that I have just been so impressed with lately, and that is my Philodendron Glorious. Look at this new leaf. This leaf just unfurled within the past week, and it is just, it's so stunning. So this is a hybrid between Philodendron gloriosum and Philodendron melanochrysum. I find that I love melanochrysum hybrids. I've said this before, if you struggle with Philodendron melanochrysum, try a glorious or try a splendid. They both are a lot easier. I find that the leaves aren't getting stuck as much. I don't have a lot of trouble with my melanochrysum, knock on wood, but I will say that the glorious and the splendid are easier. They're just like, they're very carefree plants in my experience. Like, I don't do anything special for this plant. I just water it when I notice it gets dry, and it doesn't even like really wilt or anything. I have never had a leaf get stuck on this plant. It just seems to grow really easily and be really happy. This also lives in my Millsbo tall greenhouse cabinet. I need to get this on a pole. I don't know if I'm going to chop and propagate and put it on a pole. That seems to be like my thing, what I do. But I might just skip that step and just put this on a pole if I do it right away. We'll see. But people have incredible Philodendron glorious once they get bigger, so it's going to be so cool if I can grow it out to be a large specimen as well. They're just very beautiful. I also love that it has like this golden kind of look when they first come out. The melanochrysum itself is very kind of like golden reddish toned when the new leaves emerge, so I think that that's where it gets that from. And it also has a red margin like the Philodendron gloriosum. It's just such a pretty plant, you guys. If you can get your hands on Philodendron glorious, I definitely would. Or the splendid. They're both amazing. Okay, last, you guys, I kind of have an honorable mention because I've shown this plant so much, so I'm sorry for being repetitive, but I just have to show this off. I'm obsessed with it. Probably my favorite plant in my collection lately, like within the past couple months, and that is my Philodendron El Choco Red. Yes, we have all seen her. We love her. I post her on Instagram all the time, but seriously, you guys, I am so shocked at how this plant has grown. Like, I cannot believe that this was the size of the leaves last spring and last summer even, and now this is the size of the leaves. Like, are you kidding me? It's as big as my face now. Oh, it's just so beautiful. The sheen, like everything about it is incredible. It's still retaining some of that red hue on the back. They do lose it as they mature. You can even see this last one has more red than the newest one. My obsession with this plant right now is just how quickly the leaves have upsized. Like, is this a thing? Because I've never heard this before. Is Philodendron El Choco Red known for just like maturing faster than other Philodendron? Let me know if yours has grown like quickly, because my other Philodendrons do not grow like this. Like, it takes me a long time to get those larger, more mature leaves. Sometimes it like doesn't even happen. Like, melanochrysum is really hard to get those larger leaves. But this plant, you guys, and I do have this plant on a moss pole, which I think is helping. I don't know, like, would it be this big if it wasn't on the moss pole? It's hard to say, but I do think that it helps. I just wanted to bring that up because I do get some comments sometimes saying that Philodendron El Choco Red is not a climber and you don't need to put it on a moss pole, but it's working for me, so I'm just gonna roll with that. And I have seen other people stake theirs, so I don't know, it seems to be climbing. Like, it has aerial roots in the moss, so I'm just going to go with that. It's working great for me. But yeah, I cannot stop showing this plant, you guys. It makes me so happy. Yeah, so that's going to be my last one, and it's a good one. Alright, so that is all of the plants that I gathered to show you. I try to choose like different things. I try to choose obviously the ones that I've really been loving, but there's a lot of my plants that I really love every month. So I try to kind of highlight ones that I don't show as much. I know a lot of you guys do tell me that you don't mind like seeing the same plants and you like to see the progress of my plants and whatnot, so I really appreciate that, especially since my collection is smaller now. I'm not going to have like something new to show in every video anymore, so it's going to be more focused on like progress and how plants are doing and whatever changes they're experiencing, which I'm really happy with. So I hope that you guys enjoy that as well. Leave me a comment down below. I would love to chat with you, and make sure you give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!